Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on The Merchant of Venice and we get to hear from Shylock again today in Act 3, Scene 1. So Shylock had lent money to Antonio for Bassanio and is holding Antonio to that by saying, if you don't pay me back within 3 months, I'm taking a pound of your flesh. And Antonio agreed to this because he was feeling contentious in the moment, and he was pretty sure that at least 3 of the ships that he had out on missions at the moment, that at least enough of them would return with enough money that he'd be able to pay Shylock back within 2 months instead of 3 months. So he's like, no problem, let's do this thing. In the meantime, Shylock's daughter Jessica ran away to marry Lorenzo and denounce her faith and become a Christian. Graziano and the 2 boys whose names start with S's helped her escape. So Shylock has lost his daughter in this whole thing, and he started out this scene very upset about lots of stuff, and he stormed in on the 2 guys whose names start with S's and was berating them for helping Jessica escape. And they're like, yeah, but you kind of got what you deserved. And he gave a very impassioned speech yesterday about how Jewish people are people too. Crazy concept. It's one that they didn't necessarily know back then, and that some people don't even know today, which is really sad because they are people. But anyway, he gave the "if you prick us, do we not bleed" speech yesterday, and Salario and Salanio, or Salario and Salarino, were asked. A messenger came in and said, Antonio is looking for you. So they went off to find him. Bassanio has gone off to Belmont to try to woo Portia. And the 2 of them, before they leave, they see one of Shylock's friends, a man named Tubal, approaching, and they're like, oh my gosh, we can't handle being around 2 Jewish people at the same time. So they leave. And then it's just a conversation between Shylock and Tubal, and Shylock is like, have you found her yet? Because Tubal was out looking for Jessica, and he's like, no, but I'm hearing that she's spending lots of money all over the place in Italy. And Shylock says, why, there. A diamond gone cost me 2,000 ducats in Frankfurt. The curse never fell upon our nation till now. I never felt it till now. 2,000 ducats in that, and other precious jewels. I would my daughter were dead at my foot, and the jewels in her ear. Would she were hearsed at my foot, and the ducats in her coffin. No news of them? Why so? And I know not how much is spent in the search. Why, thou loss upon loss. The thief gone with so much, and so much to find the thief, and no satisfaction, no revenge, nor ill luck stirring, but what lights o' my shoulders. No sighs, but o' my breathing, no tears, but o' my shedding. So he's frustrated and angry that she ran away with so much of his money and is spending it just willy-nilly wherever she wants to. That's basically what he says. Now, whether or not he actually wants her dead at his foot, you could argue that he could be exercising hyperbole here, or if you really wanted to make him evil, you could say that it's, something to be taken at face value. I prefer to think that he's exaggerating. But yeah, he's very upset that she's running around and spending all of this money willy-nilly, and also very upset that he seems to be the only one who's suffering in all of this. The last bit, he's like, nobody's feeling the weight of this loss except for me, and nobody's crying except for me, and nobody's breathing heavily about this except for me, and that sort of thing. So Tubal, in order to try to calm him down, is like, well, but I heard that one of Antonio's ships was shipwrecked. And he's like, for real? That it was one of Antonio's ships that was destroyed. And he's like, yeah, I talked to some people who were in the shipwreck. And Shylock is like, well, that's good news. And then Tubal, they have this weird little sort of back and forth for the rest of the scene, where Tubal will say one thing about how Antonio is going to be destroyed, and he's going to have to forfeit on the loan, so Shylock is going to get his pound of flesh. And then alternately, he'll make some remark about how Jessica spent some outrageous sum of money. Like in one sitting, she spent all of this money. So Shylock is going back and forth between, oh my God, I can't believe that my daughter is doing all of these horrible things. And yes, Antonio he's not going to be able to make his payment back, so I'm going to get my money. And they alternate good news and bad news, good news and bad news. So Shylock gets to ride this emotional roller coaster for the rest of the scene. But that's pretty much it. By the end of the scene, he's just like, okay, cool. Antonio is in bad shape. Still got to find my daughter, but at least maybe I'll be able to screw Antonio over. And that's basically the end of Act 3, Scene 1. So tomorrow we get to visit with Portia again. So the other storyline that's going on here, we get to check in with them. So I will see you then for that. Mwah.